language.
Yeah, I think, well, um, they're planning to take that, but I don't think that they're gonna get any chance of immigrating into the country because they the plan to accept number of immigrants has exceeded the
Of course,
expectations.
of course, we
So
prefer Chinese and Indians rather than Canadians.
tell me about your day. How have you been doing this week so far? What your plans,
Well,
what your commitments, what your
yes,
activities? Anything
yes,
went up or down or positive or negative or whatever? Just tell me anything.
yes. Yeah, the current week was an exceptional week because of the visit of the Pope to Iraq, and there is
Mm-hmm.
every week 3 days of general curfew, and also there is a holy visit for Imam Kadam. So
Mm-hmm.
there are many streets blocked, and we cannot travel from area to area easily. So I prefer to stay at
Mm-hmm.
home yesterday and today and doing my routine job from my home. And started with the early morning to checking up my emails, reply what I have to reply from them, do some phone calls and do some WhatsApp chatting with my employee and my agents, sometimes with my clients,
Mm-hmm.
and
How
doing
many
the
agents and how many agents and how many employees currently manage, generally speaking?
up. They are not stable, Waleed, because we are working in the
Relatively.
yes, relatively, you can say that we have maybe 7 to 8 agents in Iraq, and we have the three to four outside Iraq. Yes, 3 to 4. Yes,
So tell me
and I
about their distribution in the provinces.
yeah,
How
yeah.
do you how do you distribute the agents? Are they responsible for certain provinces? Because according to my understanding of the other mechanism of companies that they assign certain agents to be
Mm,
the agents representative of certain provinces in the south, in
yeah,
Baghdad and in the north.
yeah,
So what's your
yeah.
approach to managing clients?
Look, when you are thinking by the distribution of some pharmaceutical products in any given rate, you have to take in your mind some requirements before you starting their process. And one of the most important
Mm-hmm.
requirement is the population at that given rate, because you are thinking to distribute as much as you can, and the distribution
Mm-hmm.
for large population give you a chance to get benefit by increasing the number of people that using your drug or your medicine. It is not like
Mm.
the governorate that has small population and there is a big competence with other companies.
Competent
Yes,
competition.
competition with other companies. So when I
Mm.
start to think by the distribution for the southern of Iraq, I made awareness for the physicians, and that given rates for about our pharmaceutical products, and found that there is some acceptance in the three given rates, which are Wasat, Misan, and Babel. So
What do you mean
started.
by acceptance? Would you please give me more
Yeah,
elaboration on that?
yeah. There are also requirements for the physician or the pharmacist in the pharmacy in anywhere to accept the medicine or the pharmaceutical product. They compare it with other companies according to the price. First of all, if
Mm.
it is at the same level, what I mean by the same level, if you have an Indian product and I have an Indian product, and both of us went to the physician and offer to him our products, he will decide which one is cheapest for the patient, because he think that sometimes the patient is a poor people. So the lowest price is benefit to the patient, comparing with the expensive product, and it is from the same source, from India or from China, from Syria, from anywhere. Second point in acceptance acceptance the product from the physician or pharmacist is the quality. Its quality is good, from a good company with a good reputation. That's help the physician to be convinced with our product and to start to write it down in his prescriptions. The third one, the availability. The physician and the pharmacist do not
Now,
like.
talking about the availability.
Yeah,
Why do I see lots of Turkish and Indian medicine in the market?
because first of all, because of the price. The price is very cheap. If you are talking about the Indian one, very, very cheap products. Why? Because of two factors. First one, the raw material. The raw material is from India itself. They do not. It is not necessary to export to export the. Sorry, they do not have to import the raw material from Spain or from Italy. The raw material from India itself. The second factor is the people that working in the pharmaceutical production. They are Indians and taking very, very low fees in their jobs. It is not compared with the people that working in the same field in the United States or in Canada or in Britain. They are taking, for example, $5 per an hour in America, while in India they are taking $5 per month. You know, so the price in India, China, maybe in Syria, maybe in Egypt, maybe even in Turkey, the price and the raw material. These two factors are most important factors that play a big role in determine the acceptability of the pharmaceutical. Yes, determining the.
Do you know the average? Do you know the average salary for pharmacists in the United States?
Well, I'm not
Per
sure, but
hour.
yes, I hear that he is taking $80 per an hour, and I'm not sure.
Well, 53 and above.
Oh, yeah.
Yeah, so
Okay.
it's a lot of money compared to $5 per hour, right? For
Yeah.
people who work in India.
Yeah.
But
Yep.
is that over the expense of quality? Like, is it comparable? Do they use the same materials, or they use just different manufacturers who produce less quality and less efficient kind of medicine?
You are right, but there is another factor in United States, Britain, or in Europe in general, in Canada, the taxes, Walid. The taxes in these countries is not like the taxes in Arab countries or in Asian countries. That's another factor that added some additional fees on the price of the pharmaceutical product. Yes. So these
for
yes, please.
Go ahead, please.
We were talking about the acceptability of the pharmaceutical product at the physician. So I made awareness in these three governorates.
What do you mean?
And found that.
What do you mean? What do you mean you made awareness?
Yes.
Well, it has some grammatical issue, but I'm asking just to clarify.
Okay. Yes. We use the word awareness for with the physician when we are announcing the physician about a new pharmaceutical molecule, or even an old pharmaceutical molecule, but from a new company or a good company, or with an additional modulation for that molecule. We have to visit the physician.
What do you want
talking.
to say? What do you want to say? What
Mhm.
do you want to say in Arabic to translate that to made awareness that you just said?
زيادة المعرفة، أو in Arabic, to be more clarify, هي اطلاع الطبيب، زيادة الوعي عند
Okay,
الطبيب.
so رفع
yeah.
الوعي وزيادة الوعي. It's raise. So it's raising awareness,
Mhm.
raising awareness, and not making awareness, because we attribute the word make to anything that can be managed and manufactured and made by hand,
Okay.
or
Mhm.
to some metaphorical level, there's some complacency with that thing
Okay.
and ourselves. But when we talk
So,
about something that cannot be touched to some extent, like awareness, philosophy, um, science, knowledge, these are words that cannot be touched. They are not tangible. They are not
okay. So
tangible.
why sometimes in some situations, if there is someone made me nervous, I have to say he made me angry. The angry is not managed or manufactured by hand, so why I use made?
Well, this is about the context and
Mm,
the word choice. Certain
mhm,
conditions that we have to use the word made, like she made me angry.
mhm,
And some ways we cannot use it. And in English, we call it collocations
mhm,
or mutalazimat. Now,
mhm.
collocations is that some words gravitate. You know the word
Mm.
gravity? Do you
Yes.
know the word gravity? So
Yeah, I know it.
gravitate is to come together. Um, gravitate is to come together. And this is a word behavior thing that a lot of people do not understand why. Is it cultural
Mm.
thing? Is
Okay.
it language related thing? Is it the automaticity of language? Is it the self-sustaining language system that tries to always distribute, or is it just haphazard and random distribution
Mhm,
of words? Like there's a
mhm,
sense of acceptability to certain words with certain words. They cluster together, they gravitate together, they come together in certain context. So
mhm.
we almost always say she made me angry, but we never say I like
She
I
raising my
made
anger.
awareness. I made
Ah,
awareness.
okay.
We can't say I made her aware or I made him aware,
Mhm,
but we do not say I made awareness.
mhm,
It's the fact that has to do with grammar. Like when we talk
mhm.
about she made me angry, we're talking about
Me,
um,
about me.
subject, verb,
Mm,
subject, verb, and
mm.
object complement here, which is she made me angry, which is object complement تكملة مفعول به. But when
Yeah,
we
I see.
attribute the word made directly, we cannot say I made awareness, but I can say
I
I
have
made her
uh,
aware.
oh,
So
I have to
grammatically
refer to the
speaking, but
subject, if her or him.
well, that's the grammatical interpretation, but that does not give you a satisfactory interpretation about why, because why
Mm,
is almost impossible to interpret or give one interpretation of why.
mm,
When we say why, we always follow it with another why. Like, why is it this way? Well, you say
mm,
because it's an object. Then you say, then why is it in the object case? And then you keep saying why and why and why,
mhm,
infinite to infinity. So
mhm,
there is very high level of questioning of why is this. But in English, there are some words that gravitate, as I said, to other words. Like, as I give you this example before, من احنا نقول بالعربي الابيض والاسود يبيض يسود.
Mhm.
Okay, but
Black
in
and white.
English they say black and white.
It's
They
black
don't
and
say
white.
white and black.
Comes first.
It's not gonna rhyme. ما راح تتناغم. So they say black and white. They don't say white and black.
Mhm.
Black and white.
That comes
But in
first.
Arabic we say أبيض وأسود. So we just replace the order. So when we replace the order in Arabic, is it because it's a cultural thing? Like why do we say أبيض وأسود? Why do we say certain words that come usually together and in that context? Is it just because we used to hear it that way? Is it just because it to our ears they look nice? I don't know. Like there's so many interpretations for that. So when it comes to medicine, probably that's pretty much the same case. Like why do you when you provide prescription to patients, why do you add multivitamins? Why do these why do these vitamins behave in this way? What's the reason? Like there might be an interpretation to that, but going back to my point here, I highlighted this point from your speech because I wanted to give you some highlights on word choice, because it's very important and influential factor for IELTS, that they determine the efficient and professional English speakers by their word choice. So grammatical range and accuracy, lexical diversity, coherence and cohesion, and task completion. Within grammatical range and accuracy determines whether you choose correct words together that come and rhyme together or not. So to some extent, it's very important and alarming sign that if somebody does not know, for example, how to use words together, it's going to be tricky. Like another example is something we call subject verb agreement, and I just noticed that when you spoke. This is an example here. Every one of those books.
Every
you see
one
it?
of those. Yes, I see it.
Which one is the correct answer?
Is fiction.
Every one of those books is or are fiction.
Is.
Why?
Because every one is single. I'm talking about each single book.
Okay,
so I have to use is.
Now, if that is the case, now how about this one? Your pants is or are at the cleaners. Your pants, your trousers.
Yes, I know the pants is trousers, but it is a single also. I cannot talking about the plural about my trousers with two parts of legs. It is one. It is regarded as one. So also it is one. It is.
About this one, police is or are here.
Police are here because police is not one man. It's not one guy. It's
perfect.
Yeah. So it is are.
So here, committee is and are here.
Yes, committee are here because committee is some of guys in one meeting board.
Now, these are collective words, and some of them are tricky. Some of them can be used interchangeably depending on the context. So the point that I want to say here is that context determines to some extent the word choice that we have. But what interferes with this nice relationship between words is the fact that we do have English and we treat English as our second language. and it gets affected. It gets the Arabic language virus here. It affects, it contaminates, it causes some inflammation to English word choices here, here and there. And that is an absolute important thing to be aware of when it comes to writing or when it comes to speaking. Because, I mean, I haven't, well, to some extent, every one of us as English speakers as second language, we go into that kind of autopilot program. Autopilot is when you subconsciously do things, like when you hit on your brakes, if you see somebody crossing the road and you're you have very close distance between your car and that object that is moving. So you subconsciously or unconsciously, we don't know, you hit the brakes. It's just a reaction to just avoid that kind of incident. But the thing is, sometimes we get influenced by our use of Arabic language when it comes to word choice.
Yes, I'm facing that too much.
Everyone, including me, faces that. Like, for example, when I remember that kind of occasion when I was working as a translator back in 2009. And there was a delegation that came to Baghdad for some veterinary conference.
From which country?
And I kept telling,
Which nationality? From which nationality the delegation was?
United States.
Okay. Okay.
And I kept asking them to wait me. Like, how do we say انتظرني?
Please wait me.
No, that's Arabic.
Okay.
And that was exactly what I was saying.
Hold on a second.
It can be used, but not in this context. It's okay to say, hold on a second. If somebody requests something, is facing you,
me a second,
and
you're
just giving a call. Give me a minute. Yeah, but you cannot say, give me a minute to people who are just walking away, and you just need to request that they wait. They do not move until you approach them and follow them. So wait is the right word. Wait is the right expression. But it seems that from my observation and my readings, that the last grammatical aspects that adult English learners master are quite funny. They are prepositions.
Okay.
Prepositions are the last thing that professional English speakers master. أخير شيء يوصل الإتقان إنه يتقن prepositions, because they are the hardest thing to master in English.
Okay.
In Arabic, we deal with that kind of expression by saying انتظرني or انتظروني. So wait me. So it is followed directly by the object here, which is me. We say انتظرني. So we directly translate that subconsciously in our mind and say, because it's this way said in Arabic, so it is the same way in English, and that is wrong. It's something called language fallacy or word choice fallacy. Word choice.
So, what
do you
we
know
have
the word
to
fallacy?
Say?
Do you know the word fallacy, first of all?
No.
No. Google it, because I want you to explore this word by yourself, and then I will tell you what's wrong. Arabic does not justify its correction in English. It just does not make sense, okay? So word choice fallacy is when we assume subconsciously that this word or this expression is this way in Arabic, then it should be this way in English, and that's wrong. In English, we say wait for me. So there's a preposition here. Wait for me, or wait for us. There's different ways of saying that, but it's for. So This kind of preposition is in English. It's available in English, but it's not available in Arabic. And this is where word choice fallacy happens. Ecological fallacy, مغالطات منطقية.
Yes, but Walid, when we are thinking about fallacy, it is an advanced stage or level in English language. It is not for the primary stage, not for the intermediate stage. It is something like the stage of you.
No, it's not my stage. What I mean is that this is one of the factors that determine professional English speakers
Yeah,
who will
yeah.
get 8.5 and above.
Okay.
From those people who will get 5 or are qualified to get 6.5 or 7. It's just like there should be some rule that has a borderline between those professional speakers who have exerted so much time exercising and learning the language and practicing the language, and those people who have not had enough chance to do the same. And when we consistently produce language, we are often need to refill the tank and produce more language, and that is where we need to always train our ears to listen more and to speak more.
Why
happens?
I say that? Sorry.
So what happened is that there's this generation gap where the old generation, and by old, I do not mean that we are old. I just mean that people before 2003 had contact with English training, and they were taught according to the classic method before the existence and the expansion of internet, because the basic way of communication was through sending letters. So that demanded higher level of academic writing. You needed to learn how to do good academic writing, and you needed to learn how to read. So most of the classes, English classes and language classes that we've had before that time were focusing on improving your reading and handwriting, because these were the ways of communication at that time where English was based on that kind of method. Post 2003, things have changed. So the new generation does not rely heavily on reading. They do not read as much, they speak and listen. They do not write as much, they speak and listen. So even the concept of listening started to diminish. We do not have listening now. We have watching. We do not have listening. Like people watch more than they listen. And the concept of listening has become embedded in watching. Things are more engaging visually than auditory speaking.
Yes.
And that is just implying heavy focus on watching and listening and speaking. Now, the new generation is completely different, and that is where the gap is. This generation has masterfully become able to see how native speakers use English, but before that time, old generation did not. I mean, the well-off, يعني الطبقة الغنية.
Yes.
They had video cassettes and tape recording devices, and they were listening to radio, and that was a privilege for them at that time. But that's the best thing that they could do at that time. But if we compare that to people nowadays, I mean, your kids have iPhones and they can access to millions of recordings. They can follow channels.
iPod.
Yesterday, yeah. So yesterday, I got a video, and I could relate to this sort of video from one of the families in Baghdad, and they sent me a video of their 5-year-old daughter. She didn't get any kindergarten training. She didn't get any schooling.
I got it.
She just relied purely on watching YouTube, and she was speaking like a native speaker. I've talked to so many kids back in the US, and they speak just like her. And that's just because this kind of universal child that is stemmed and started to become after the existence of internet. Sorry to dominate the conversation, but there was something that I wanted to highlight here, that we need to extensively listen. We need to devour يعني نلتهم بشراهة. We need to devour watching and listening about something that you're passionate about, and you need to create some relevance here. Like, do not listen to something that you're not interested about, because your brain is not going to respond with the same efficiency. Imagine that you read something and you have background about, and you read something and you don't have background about. For example, I tell you a story about Sonora in Arizona, and you start thinking, what is it? Is it a place? Is it a food type? What is it? But if I tell you about Shatt al-Arab, your brain is going to be more ready to welcome this kind of information in English, because it's about something that has relevance to your culture, to your geography. So no matter what, you have to just create some sort of relevance to it. And I assure you, I guarantee that your brain is going to positively respond to. That's why when we do reading for IELTS, we often ask ourselves to pause for a second and ask ourselves, what do we know about this topic? If you ask yourself this question, you will definitely be able to answer now with more effective response here. Now, going back to my question that I had before, how do your agents, how do you train your agents to promote marketing amidst the competition with other companies?
Yes, there is something I'm trying to learn my agents when they are visiting the physician, which is the ice breaking. Ice breaking, it include to choose the right time to visit the physician and to start.
Tell me more, please.
Look,
tell me more.
Physicians almost are busy and expend all the time of their availability in the clinic for their patients. Sometimes refuse to meet or to see the medical representatives of the pharmaceutical companies, because they regard this is a wasting time, because he is choosing some kind of pharmaceutical products, some kind of medicines from specific companies, and he does not want to change. So for breaking this ice with the physician, which is to destroy the barriers between the representative, barriers with the physician and medical representative, he has to choose the right time. He has to choose the key for starting conversation with the physician, and it is not determined the talking about the pharmaceutical product. Maybe he is talking about football, maybe talking about the weather as a kick start for representing the pharmaceutical product. After that, the representative has to talk in details about our product, if it is a new molecule, if it is with low side effect, if it is in compare with other products from other company, more cheaper, it is very good for the patient. If it is long, we have something which is fast onset and long duration of action. Fast onset, it is quickly acting inside the body and getting the patient the good result. and long duration. Maybe it is enough for the patient to take one tablet or one capsule per day, in compare with other company that have to take three tablets per day. So these informations we submitted or offered for the physician to increase his awareness about the product. This is our strategy. And the last decision, of course, here for the physician, if he will if he convinced by our product or not. If he convinced and accept the product, and it is happened, for to be honest, for many times it has happened, and the physician was very happy, so happy with the new molecule, because all physicians looking for one target, rather than the financial benefit from the visiting or the recurrent visiting of their patients for the clinic. The one sharing target is to get the patient from the illness stage to the cure stage. The physician will be so happy when see his patient cure